Yes, yes.
Since KH is too much, I am starting again from the first sentence from this letter. Since KH is uh, too much of a perfect yogi arhat to stop the hand that undaunted by failure keeps on trying to catch the Tibetan yak by the neck, to bend it under its yoke, then all that remains for me to do is to make once more my appearance on the Natkhala, to put a stop to a performance that threatens to become monotonous even to us well trained in patience. So here, Mahatma M and Mahatma M refers to KH. He is a perfect yogi arhat, and to stop the hand that undeterred by failure, because Mahatma KH will never experience in a failure. Like he has given another example, keeps on trying to catch the Tibetan egg. Tibetan egg is one type of cow available in Tibet. Those who are particularly have seen the geography books, they have uh, must have seen the how Tibetan yak looks like. It is looks like available bull here in India. By the neck, to bend its yak, to put a yak wooden frame on it is very impossible. It is in nothing, it cannot be put. So Mahatma M refers that he is a yogi arhat, perfect, so it is not possible. Then all that remains for me to do is to make once more my appearance on the Natkhala, to put a stop to a performance that threatens to become monotonous. It means dull, not everyone like it so like this. And to us, hyphen, well trained in patience. So patience is an important word, because Mahatma, uh, those who are higher gurus, they have know what is the patience. So it is a clear advice us to have a patience. Then failure word is also there. Then yogi arhat. Blavatsky explained in Theosophic glossary what is yogi. So I am taking you to her explanation. Yogi is in a state when reached makes the practitioner thereof absolute master of his six principles. Uh, we all aware of there are seven principles: physical, then etheric, then pranic, astral, mental, then intuition. So all these six principle is absolutely controlled, and he is being now merged in the seventh. So those who are yogi, he absolute master of all these six principles. Seventh is his Atmic principle. So he now merged in the seventh principle. So a yogi, a perfect yogi like Mahatma K, if he is merged with the seventh principle, then what is its effect? It gives him full control owing to his knowledge of self. Kindly see the SELF all capital, then small individuality or the Vijnanamaya course or whatever name you can give, or higher ego, over his bodily, intellectual, mental states, which enable any longer to interfere with or act upon his higher ego. So all these are bodies, intellectual, mental state. The once you become completely control all these six principles and merge yourself with the seventh. So these bodies, our bodies, intellectual, mental state, all these will enable any longer to interfere with or act upon his higher ego. Leave it free to exist in its original, pure and divine state. So that is. Then what is arhat? who reached in a state of higher consciousness, because he means transcended all the fetters, which Brother Lidwitton always mentioned, that delusional self, I-ness, the first fetter, second doubt, three ceremony, superstition, then fourth kamaraga, fifth anger. All these are controlled and transcended, and he reached a stage of fourth initiation or arhat. These are the names given in different religions. So let me give in some kind of who are the arhats. In Buddhist literature, it is mentioned Sotapanna, first initiation, Sakatagama, second, Anagamini, third, fourth is Arhat. This is Arhat word used by Master M in favor of case. So also in our Hindus literature, Kuti Chakra, Bahudaka, Hansa. Hansa word we are all are. Then Paramhansa. Then Atita, then Jivan Mukta. These are the words used by Hinduism. Then Christian literature, Christianity, virgin birth, first initiation. Second, the baptism. Third, transfiguration. Fourth, crucifixion and resurrection. Fifth, ascensions and descension of Holy Ghost. All these are the names given to different religion, particularly available or helpful to different people in different places and different times. So Arhat is a stage in a higher level who has controlled many kinds of anger, delusion of self, etc., etc. So our master, one of the inner founder, who is a yogi, who control all the six principles, always in the seventh, and he has nothing in the bodily level, mundane world activities, so that can trouble him. So these are the Arhat and yogi. So, and Mahatma referred that he have nothing to, he cannot disturb him by saying that it can be felt. So next is reverence. Master M referring, reverence may not be in his nature of the human. So kindly see the reference word. Reference is, we should have always reference to the higher ones. Those who are gurus, those who are Mahatma, who are in the invisible worlds, that we can always have a reverence. But I should have thought that his head, Mahatma M referring his head when Hume have, that is capacious enough to hold anything, had a corner in it for some common sense, and that sense might have told him that either we are what we claim, Mahatma claim of Mahatma, and we are not. That in the former case, however exaggerated the claims made on behalf of our powers, still, if our knowledge and foresight do not transcend, then we are no better than shams and impostors. It is clearly instruction given to us that we should have all reverence and respect to great teachers who are actually rulers of the world. They are the members of the inner government, occult heritage. That reverence feeling we should have within us. For each Theosophical Society member, that reverence must be there. Otherwise, we will not able to proceed in our spiritual journey. And the quicker, here he has given a clear instruction. If you have no reverence, if present TS member have no reverence to great teachers who are behind the Theosophical Society, then we can better quit the Theosophical Society. The quicker he parts the company with us, the better for him. It is a little satirically mentioned. But if we are in any degree, next, if we are any degree what we claim to be, then he acts like a wild ass. And if Mahatma has power, occult power, they are observing every minute what the mundane world people are doing. If we have anything like that, if we act otherwise what they have given instruction and we are doing otherwise, then it will like we are acting like a wild ass. Let him remember that we are not Indian Rajas in need of any compelled to accept political ayahs and nurses to lead us on by string. Suta, it's a string, like that. We cannot instruct the gurus, the great teachers, that you should do that, which Hume and Sinnett always of the opinion that you should do this. Ayahs and nurses. Then the society was founded. This is another important sentence. It will establish who founded the society. What is the hidden agenda of this Theosophical Society movement? That this society was founded, went on, and will go on with Hume or without him. With or without him. Him means Hume, without him. Let him suit himself as to the latter. So society was founded by great ones, great teachers, went on and will go on with or without him. So anybody from us, if you are not actually in the practice or in the thought, or we are not accepting the theosophical truth which was given to us by the great ones, it is better for us to accept it. If we will not accept it, then we can lead the society. So here Mahatma mentioned the society was founded, went on, and will go on with or without him. Let him suit himself as to the latter. So far his help that he thrust on us much after the fashion of Spanish mendicant. Hidalgos who offer their sword to protect the traveler with one hand and clutch him by the throat. One hand you will give, I will protect the Theosophical Society, I will do this and that. Then in otherwise you are also damaging, clutching the by throat with other, has not, as far as I can find, any beneficial to the society so far. Even today, at present day, we will find many such branches of, there are many members will say, no, we are doing a lot of things for the society, etc. But in fact, they are damaging the organization. That is the, because I worked for 5 years in Banaras and look after many property matters. So I marked here. In fact, we are damaging those branches by opening many things. We are not popularizing or disseminating theosophy. Rather, we are damaging the branches here. Not to one of its founder at any rate. Here, Mahatma clearly referred how Hume, one hand, he tried to establish before the great ones that he is protecting, but otherwise he is holding the throat to damage or to kill the Blavatsky. Not to one of its founder at any rate, whom he has nigh killed last year at Simla, and whom he now harasses, sticking to her like grim death, turning her blood into water and eating her liver out. The words used by Mahatma relating to Hume action, action of omission, action of commission. So we should be, at present, we should be aware of all these things. Therefore, I expect you to impress upon his mind that we should give thanks for, would we see to him take care of his eclectic and to leave the parent society to take care of itself. Here another instruction for all the members. Sometimes we are thinking of that parent society means Ada, the international headquarters. Now Brother Sekar, Sister Catalina, others are there. They are looking after their parent society, the society of international headquarters. We should look after our branches here, either in Guwahati, Delhi, Lucknow, etc., etc. We should be confined to our how to disseminate theosophy. So this is our role. See here, Mahatma giving clear instruction that Hume should look after the eclectical theosophical society at Simla, leave the parent society. They have given charge to Alcott and Blavatsky. They should look after it. So don't interfere. What is happening in the international headquarters now or at that time to Hume then also. Therefore, whether we be the ignorant savages and Orientals of his making, because Sinet Hume, they are, so to say, we are the Englishmen, highly intellectual, and the Blavatsky, Alcott, they are not fit to lead the movement. And sometimes they are thinking of that this Indian natives as Oriental savage. So Mahatma here clearly giving another simile to us. Every oaf being a master in his own den. And very clearly we have many type of simile we will find. We claim the right to know our own business. This movement was started by the great teachers with the direct permission from Mahashohan. So Mahatma mentioned that it is, we claim the right to know our business best and respectfully decline his service as a captain to steer our theosophical ship, even on the ocean of worldly life, as he metaphorizes in his stroke. How beautifully Mahatma excellent countered the wordings of Hume. No doubt Hume have done within 3-4 years, he has done a lot of work, wrote many articles in support of Blavatsky. But his hidden agenda, his motive was that he should be given charge. And that is the thing we should be aware of, even now. Sometimes some member became the president of a branch, president of a section, or head of an institution of our theosophical society. We should be silent. No hidden agenda, nothing should be come up in our motive that I should be like that, I should be given that post. So let us carry on our work. We have allowed him under the good pretext of saving the situation with the British Theosophists to ventilate his animosity against us in the organ of our own society, to draw our portrait likenesses with a brush dipped in a hotty oil. What more does he want? This is given that whatever opportunity to a member given by the great ones at that time, and he is not accepting, he has not accepted. That is the problem with you. As I ordered the old woman named Blavatsky, to telegraph him back, he is not the only skillful navigator in the world. So the telegram wrote by Blavatsky on that famous letter, actually instruction was given to her by master. So he mentioned, he seeks to avoid western breakers and we to steer our course clear of eastern sandbags. Does he mean, in addition to this, to dictate from the Chauhan down to Jwalkul and they what we shall and what we shall not do. Many time within us, many things will come that matter should have followed in this way. International president then or now should have done this like this. There are many things it will come to our mind. Within that, some evil intention must be there. So here mentioned that, does he mean to, in addition, does he mean in addition to this to dictate, what kindly see the word, dictate from Chauhan down to Jualkul. Jualkul at that time was senior most disciple of Master KH, and Dev is another disciple. What we shall and what we shall not do. It is Mahatma word. Ram Ram. The words actually the Indians always Ram Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Sri like this. Ram Ram and Holy Nagaj. Is it after centuries of independent existence? You see the inner government, occult hierarchy. They don't have any kind of support from the outside. They have the independent existence, and we have to fall under a foreign influence, means to take guidance from the Hume, to become the puppet of Simla Nawab. Are we schoolboys or what in his fancy to submit to the rod of filling schoolmaster? Mahatma using this word that we are the independently doing our duty. Don't give us advice as per your mundane world intellectual thoughts. I have asked you to let him know my ultimatum. If he would not break with the whole shop together and forever, I will not suffer him to interfere with his wisdom between our ignorance and parent society. Again, Mahatma given the wisdom we have, intellectual wisdom available in the modern world, that should not interfere the action at that time what Mahatma was planning to do for the Theosophical Society at that time. And this state of horse was brought on lately by him owing to constant anxiety for the society, partially if not wholly by his behavior at Simla. You can take my word. The whole situation and future of the ecclesiastical hangs on to me if we will not help him, if notwithstanding my advice and Chauhan's evident displeasure, he will persist making a fool of himself, sacrificing himself for a man who is the evil genius of the society in one direction. Well, it is his own business, only I will have nothing to do with it. Kindly see the nature of the Mahatma KH is most loving among the great ones. And Master M, he is first ray, second ray is Master KH. Kindly remember when Blavatsky requested Master M to give the correspondence, to send a reply in the form of letter, Master M point blank said no. Then Blavatsky requested Master KH. He is as loving as he knew Blavatsky at that time, because he got training from that Bodhlasa from Tibet. So he agreed, but he taken the permission of Master, means higher Mahachohan. So here, the way Mahatma KH being loving, benevolent, and full of gratitude, the work Hume doing, who has been doing at that time. So the way Mahatma KH doing and helping the eclectical society, it is not correct what Master M mentioned here. If notwithstanding my advice, and at that time also Mahachohan, evident displeasure, Mahachohan also not happy. But this happy and displeasure we can think of in our modern world. But what they are doing there, we are not aware of. of how Mahatma advising us, how it reflected in the displeasure of Mahachohan. We are not sure, but anyway, after that, Mahatma stopped this writing to Hume, and to my mind, Hume left the Theosophical Society and he joined with another organization and became his disciple. Many things happened. But these 3 and 4 years, what he has done for this society, he learned many things. We'll go on the scientific analysis. We will see what type of questions he asked. So, and what was the answer on cosmogenesis, all these things. So we'll slowly we'll go those letters. So then another important sentence is Fawn was tested. Another aspirant like us was Fawn, and found a thorough Dukpa in his moral nature. Can you see the Dukpa is the dark forces. They have some powers to do things. But here Mahatma mentioned a particular individual like us, Fawn. He was tested and it was detected that his moral nature is like a Dukpa, like a dark forces. We said we should meditate upon this sentence. We will see, Mahatma wording. But very little hope left, notwithstanding his splendid capacities. Among us, there are many persons who have very strong capacity to do many work, but within his nature, within his moral nature, that is some kind of evil intention. So that was there in the case of Fawn. Had I hinted him to deceive his own father, mother, he would have thrown in their fathers and mothers in the bargain. It is another kind of satirical remark in favor of Fawn, because Hume was there. Wild nature, yet irresponsible. It is given to this. Then lastly, oh, you Westerners who boast of your morality, may the bright Chauhan, means one of the Italian Chauhan, is another who helping at that time Theosophical Society, is on control of one of the rays. Keep you and all yours from the approaching harm is the sincere wish of your friend. So one thing is given morality. So the morality we have, if we all have a different kind of morality within us, with a full of a will, intention. So Mahatma here referring that bright Chauhan will keep you and all yours from approaching harm is the sincere wish of your society, approaching harm to the Theosophical movement at that time. So same thing is now. We should not harm the movement of Theosophical Society. Our morality should be pure so that we can help the society, disseminate the Theosophy to the public. Thank you, brother. Yes, Sekharji, take over from it.
Yes, now Sister Meenakshi Gedani ji will translate in Hindi.
Yes.
Sister Meenakshi, please unmute yourself. Wait.
महात्मा लेटर नंबर 46 आज हम ले रहे हैं, जो कि क्रोनोलॉजिकल ऑर्डर में लेटर नंबर 89 है। यह पत्र मास्टर एम एपी सीनेट को सितंबर 1882 में लिखते हैं। महात्माओं के प्रति आलोचना भरा फेमस एचएक्स लेटर जो ह्यूम ने द थियोसॉफिस्ट में 1882 में लिखा था, उस पर एचपीबी ह्यूम को 5/9/1882 को टेलीग्राम करती है और ह्यूम उसी टेलीग्राम के पीछे अपना प्रत्युत्तर देते हैं, जिसके उत्तर में मास्टर एम सीनेट को यह पत्र लिखते हैं। एचपीबी का ह्यूम को टेलीग्राम इस प्रकार है: हमारे और महात्माओं की कार्य पद्धति के तरीकों में भिन्नता है। महात्मागण शायद इसकी परवाह न करे, लेकिन उनके प्राचीनतम शाश्वत नियमों के विरुद्ध जाने का हम दुस्साहस न करें। महाचौहान के 2 शिष्यों और सुब्बाराव सहित 10 और शिष्य आपके विरोध में है। यह जोखिम भरा प्रयोग है। इस टेलीग्राम पर ह्यूम उत्तर देते हैं, यदि जहाज के कैप्टन को उसे संचालित करना न आता हो तो वह समुद्र यात्रा विफल होगी। सांसारिक जीवन यात्रा में महात्मा अज्ञानी कैप्टन जैसे हैं। वे चाहे जितने महान हो, लेकिन उनकी शक्तियां और सद्गुण सोसाइटी के विकास में मदद नहीं करेगी। मास्टर एम अपने पत्र में सीनेट से कहते हैं कि मास्टर के एच एक महान योगी अरहत है, जो आक्रामक, अहंकारी और निडर ह्यूम के कुटिल बर्ताव को रोकेंगे नहीं, जो उन पर वर्चस्व स्थापित करना चाहता है। इसीलिए ह्यूम के नाटकीय व्यवहार को, जो उनके धैर्य सब्र की परीक्षा ले रहा है, उसे रोकने के लिए वे स्वयं प्रयत्न करेंगे। मास्टर्स धैर्यवान होते हैं। मास्टर कहते हैं कि ह्यूम के स्वभाव में श्रद्धा व आदर भाव न हो, और न ही हम उसकी चाह रखते हैं, लेकिन उसका दिमाग जो हर एक जानकारी ग्रहण करने की क्षमता रखता है, उसमें एक कोना समझदारी के लिए रहता, तो यही समझ हमारे अस्तित्व की सत्यता या असत्यता का बोध करती। हमारी शक्तियां न सही, लेकिन यदि हमारा ज्ञान व दूरदर्शिता उससे श्रेष्ठ नहीं है, तो हम ढोंगी और पाखंडियों से बेहतर नहीं है। वह हमसे जितने जल्दी नाता तोड़े, उतना ही उसके लिए अच्छा है। मास्टर कहते हैं कि हम कोई भारतीय राजा नहीं है, जिन्हें अपना कार्य करने के लिए कठपुतलियों की तरह बाहरी मार्गदर्शन को स्वीकार करने में मजबूर किया जाए। ह्यूम सोसाइटी में रहे या न रहे, सोसाइटी की स्थापना हुई, उसका कार्य चल रहा है और चलते रहेगा। अभी तक ह्यूम की मदद इस तरह से हुई जैसे कि स्पेनिश भिक्षु हिदाल्गोस, जो यात्रियों की रक्षा के लिए एक हाथ से तलवार पेश करता था तो दूसरे हाथ से उनका गला घोटता था। सोसाइटी के लिए वह बहुत हितकारी नहीं हुआ। मास्टर कहते हैं कि पिछले साल शिमला में ह्यूम ने अपनी हरकतों से एचपीबी की लगभग जान ही ले ली थी। वह उन्हें बहुत यातना दे रहा है। इसी वजह से मास्टर सीनेट को ह्यूम पर अपने विचारों से प्रभावित करने को कहते हैं कि ह्यूम अपने इक्लेक्टिक सोसाइटी को संभाले और थियोसॉफिकल सोसाइटी को अपने हाल पर छोड़ दे, उसमें दखल अंदाजी न करे। चाहे उसकी नजर में हम पौर्वात्य अज्ञानी गवार हो, हम अपना कार्य और कर्तव्य बखूबी जानते हैं और आदर पूर्वक उसकी सेवा नकारते हैं। सांसारिक जगत के समंदर में चलने वाले थियोसॉफी के जहाज को चलाने वाले कैप्टन के रूप में ह्यूम की सेवा हम नकारते हैं। ब्रिटिश थियोसॉफिस्ट्स की स्थिति को बचाने के सच्चे इरादे से हमने हमारी ही सोसाइटी में हमारे विरुद्ध जहर उगलने दिया। वह और क्या चाहता है? दुनिया में वही एक कुशल पथ प्रदर्शक नहीं है। क्या वह महाचौहान से लेकर शिष्य ज्वालकुल और देव तक को अपने हुक्म में रखना चाहता है? हमारे कार्य उसके निर्देश पर चले, ऐसा चाहता है? क्या सदियों के स्वतंत्र अस्तित्व के बाद हमें ह्यूम जैसे बाहरी प्रभाव के सामने झुकना होगा और उसकी कठपुतली बननी होगी? मास्टर एम सिनेट से ह्यूम को अपनी आखिरी चेतावनी बताने को कहते हैं। यदि ह्यूम अपना व्यवहार और सोच और हरकतें दुरुस्त नहीं करता, बंद नहीं करता, तो उसे बेदखल किया जाएगा। मास्टर कहते हैं कि एचपीबी की खराब हालत की वजह ह्यूम का शिमला में बर्ताव और सोसाइटी के बारे में सतत की चिंता है। मास्टर सीनेट से कहते हैं कि यदि आप मदद न करेंगे तो इक्लेक्टिक सोसाइटी का संपूर्ण भार और उसका भविष्य अकेले मास्टर केज पर आएगा। मेरी सलाह और महाचौहान की स्पष्ट नाराजगी के बावजूद वह ऐसे व्यक्ति के लिए अपना बलिदान करेंगे जो सोसाइटी के लिए दुर्बुद्धि से कार्य कर रहा हो। मास्टर कहते हैं कि फर्न का परीक्षण करने पर उसके नैतिक स्वभाव में डुब्बा का प्रभाव पाया गया। उसकी असामान्य क्षमताओं के बावजूद उसकी उपयोगिता में बहुत कम उम्मीद बची है। अगर उसके जन्मदाताओं से छल करने का इशारा करते तो बदले में वह उनके माता पिता को लेकर भी सौदा करता। मास्टर कहते हैं, यह कैसे पाश्चात्य लोग हैं जो अपनी नैतिकता पर गर्व करते हैं। आखिर में मास्टर एम सिनेट को सदिच्छा देकर कहते हैं कि तेजस्वी चौहानों के आशीर्वाद आप पर और आपके अपनों पर आने वाले हर संकट से बचाए। धन्यवाद। नमस्ते।